Hello guys and dolls, welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. Today we're taking a look at Chitubox Pro and whether or not it is worthwhile paying the extra money for a Pro slicer. Before we get started, roll those credits. So, full disclosure, today's video is brought to you by Chitubox. They've sponsored the channel for this video. They have also provided us with a promo code. So if you use the promo code HONEY, then you will get 40% off of Chitubox Pro with a kilo of free resin, or you can get 40% off either 1 or 2 kilo bundles on their website if you use the HONEY promo code, this one right here. Check out the link in the video description and it will take you to the Chitubox website where you can buy it, and it really does help and support the channel. We do get an affiliate bonus out of this one, so again, full disclosure, but let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so we have here Chitubox regular on the left. You can see I'm on the 195 beta 10 and Chitubox Pro version 1.4 on the right. One thing that I will say they still have not implemented in either version is window snapping. So this is manually resized. You can't window snap them. It's super annoying. So as you can see, first off, let's talk about layout differences. So you can see that down here you have an extra button called Select in Pro that you don't have in this one. So when you want to select your machine here, you have to go to Settings, and then in this window is where you would normally select any of the things that you want, any of the machines that you want. This is where your resin settings are, this is where your print settings are, your advanced settings for anti-aliasing, all that sort of stuff, right? However, when we are in Chitubox Pro, much more convenient. All of your machines are just listed down the bottom, and if you double click here, this brings up your settings. So these are all in here. You can put in custom G-code here. You've got all your printer settings, your advanced settings here, and your resin settings there as well. This is the core settings for the printer. So this is resolution, screen size, all that sort of jazz. So that's a lot easier. And if you want to switch machines, you literally just go like that. Switches the machines over. Whereas these ones, you have to go here. You have to select your machine, and then you close. So we'll switch that back to the M3 Max, and we'll leave this on the M3 Max as well. So you can see here that the top bar is a completely different layout. So in here is where you would normally pick up any of your files that you want to pull in. You can also drag and drop. So I will pull in a, let's go to new project. Let's just pull in let's pull in something fairly big. Let's just stick a bench in there for the moment, right? Immediately, Chitubox Pro shows you that it can do automatic repair functions. So I'm not going to do those for the moment. You see, if you pull those into Chitubox Normal, there is no repair function in Chitubox Normal. So you go into Prepare. This will let you split the model. You can do auto layouts. You can cut the model. You can hollow it, dig the hole, everything else. You want to hollow things, you do them up here. Auto layout is still there, along with things like copy and things like that. But outside of that, there is a repair function. It isn't as good as the Chitubox Pro one. The Chitubox Pro one is better. I've found much better results with the Chitubox Pro one. And pretty much your options here are to hollow or to dig a hole, and that's it. This is obviously all of your support settings in here. If we go to support here, select our model, go to support, you can see that you still have all of the same settings. So you can map over anything that you need to, but you also, it's much, much easier to customize a lot of your support settings here, and then makes it a lot easier to place your own custom supports if your own custom supports is what you use. If we go and we see how these perform against each other, these should be pretty similar to each other, because I run all my support settings the same. So you can see that this has done everything down the bottom there. We've got the front hole supported. We've got everything here, and we've also got these inside of the window. You can see on Chitubox Normal that it has opted to try and put everything where possible straight to the build plate rather than inside of the model, except for these ones in here. This has done, I would challenge, a much, much stronger support structure. You can see how these are strutted here. These have got struts here. I think that's a much stronger support structure there. They are both on medium for here, but that's a much, much stronger auto-generated supports there as well. We also have a much more in-depth repair function inside of this one. So if we go to repair here, your options here are auto repair or invert normal. That is pretty much it. Whereas here, it immediately shows you all the polygons and all the triangles that are a part of this particular model. You can do an awful lot more inside of this particular one. All right. So much, much more control over your settings there. Something else that's actually really surprisingly useful in Chitubox Pro is the ability to measure stuff. So for anyone who's doing cosplay things, you know that it can be a bit of a pain, because normally what you have to do is select your scale, and this will tell you that, you know, this model is 48mm high and 31mm wide, 60mm long. But that doesn't actually help you if you're like, right, but I need this gap here or this gap here to be a certain size, and this here gives you the ability to actually measure those properly. It's actually way more useful than you think it would be. I use it all the time. This is actually so good that I even use this to scale my FDM models, so that I figure out what the scale is, I measure it, and then I take that over into my FDM slicer, which at the moment is mainly bamboo, and I'll do that there. So that's much, much better. You also have here, this is where you add all your plugins, and you go back to your factory settings, checking for updates and all that sort of stuff. So Chitubox Pro makes your life a lot easier. The UI is much better. There are more features. You can live your life in Chitubox free. There isn't anything where you're like, I have to have Pro just to be able to make it work, but it does make your life a lot easier. And the main difference you're going to see is when it comes to doing larger models and the speed at which it slices. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so let's try a slicing speed test. So we've got a couple of models here. They're nice and detailed. They are models from Grimdark's Patreon. Really nice Patreon. So let's pop some of these over here. And then we will just copy and paste them. Just duplicate them across the bed. One more time. There we go. Right, so you can see there we've got all of these guys laid out there. Not exactly a packed out bed, but about right. You can see that all the flame ones are at the front and all the sword guys are at the back. So we will quickly add some supports to these dudes. Just has to do the pre-processing stuff. This is currently in Chitubox Pro, and we will go over in a minute to Chitubox Regular. Okay, so we're going to auto-generate supports across all of these. So that's all the supports done. We've got everything here, so we're just going to slice this and time it. So that's the timing on Pro. Let's try the free one. Okay, so this is the free version. So let's load up this build plate so that we can... Oh. Let's try that again, shall we? Another two. There we go. Everybody's all there. Select all of these. Add in our supports. Okay, so let's just do a very quick comparison. If we take a look at how these supports go in on these models, you can see all the points of the armor are connected, everything here. And if we go over to here, you can see just how different these actually are. Really different on the support settings. But let's get to the speed test on slicing. So, slice that. And that's it sliced in the free version. So, I just want to be clear about what machine we are currently slicing stuff on. So, as you can see, I've got a 12th Gen 12700F. I've got 32 gig of memory in this. It is Windows 10 home build. In all honesty, this is a good machine by today's standards. But I have been using Chitubox Pro on my laptop as well, which is a 7th Gen i7, and it's still massively outperforming my Chitubox free version. So just wanted to give you an idea of what we were looking at regarding this. So who's Chitubox Pro for? Right? Chitubox Pro is for people who are looking to try and do more with their slicer. Chitubox, the regular version, will slice your models, it will add your supports, you will be able to use your machine. There's nothing in Chitubox Pro that is going to fundamentally change your life, right? And there's nothing really that you're not going to be able to do with about 6 or 7 other potentially free programs, things like Mesh Mixer. But bringing them all into the slicer saves you workflow, it saves you time, and it saves you effort. You get consistency and consistent results. Obviously, Chitubox Pro is going to be the first to get any new updates, any new features, any new improvements, because it is ultimately the Pro version. And those things will come to the regular Chitubox version eventually. But right now, if you want to get the latest features and you want a quick slicer that's very capable and has a bunch of extra features as well, Chitubox Pro is a really strong candidate. Don't forget that we have the Honey Badger promo code of Honey. That gets you a 40% discount and a free bottle of resin. Check out the video description on how to use that code and where to use it. But let's wrap this up. Okay, so you can see there are material differences between Chitubox Pro and Chitubox Basic. You do not have to buy Chitubox Pro to be able to use your machine. It does make your life easier. There's a number of tools in it that are really actually quite useful. I found the support settings to be much superior to that of Chitubox Basic. And probably most importantly is the speed difference. So especially when you are doing multiple models in a single slice, the time difference with Chitubox Pro really does start to edge it out. Now, if you're making money out of resin printing, or if you're just someone who needs some more advanced tools as you continue to develop, then definitely go to the Chitubox website, check out Chitubox Pro. And when you do, don't forget to use the promo code HONEY, and then that will get you 40% off of your license, plus a free litre of resin. So well worth it. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you on the next video.